Movie footage used in the Why It Sucks videos are owned entirely by the copyright holders. Welp Entertainment makes no claim of ownership and simply uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching Six Underground on Netflix on your own Netflix account, and definitely not someone else's Netflix account that you didn't pay for. And while you're at it, make sure to watch other Netflix content because Netflix is awesome. And if you sift through a few thousand shows or movies, you just might find something worth watching.
What if I told you?
What if I told you, instead of being deep or poetic, this narration was lazy and uninspired? The movie thinks you're not smart enough to read Abandoned Child without someone pointing at it. I'm in a bind here because this movie is gorgeous. There are some really great shots, but the problem is there's not one shot in this movie that lasts longer than 5 seconds, and there are hundreds of shots that are completely unnecessary. Wouldn't the New York Times spell out the word hundreds instead of using the number, or am I giving too much credit to the New York Times? Also, apparently they couldn't get the wind blowing up in the page so we could see the headline in one shot, so they just used two. I would have paid all the money for the plane to have hit him on the way down and then rolled the credits. Remember this shot right here. Does the movie have to jump around chronologically? No. But does it make the movie better? Also no. Last time I checked, it doesn't benefit your cause by putting high percentages of your audience into seizure-inducing comas, but Six Underground begs to differ. I don't know what happens here. He turns, cars are doing flips, and then fireworks. Some would say this mafia lawyer scene's unnecessary, but you throw Ryan Reynolds in there and it's gold, and the editors are like, well, we have this footage, might as well use it.
A lot of blood on my car.
1 second, there's a BMW chasing us.
And then it cuts to a helicopter. Hat. No hat. Hat. Here, the mirror's cut off. Everything on this car is indestructible except that mirror, but it must be one of those magic mirrors because it's already back on. You see, it's funny because they're nuns. Head outside the window? No head outside the window. Bag on the ground. Bag back on her shoulder. No head outside the window. Head outside the window. No puppies. Magic puppies. Oh, and hey, there goes the nuns again. They're just sitting over there in the corner having a conversation.
She's fine. She's fine.
She's fine. You could tell because of the strobe lights that this was meant for the beginning of the scene. He was talking about the girl in the back seat with a bullet in her stomach, but they decided to put it here about the baby, the dogs, the woman with the bag holding the baby, who knows? I'm almost positive whoever edits this car chase scene in the right order gets one of the keys to unlocking the Oasis. This car survives this. Blood. No blood! Blood's back, but it's in a completely different spot than it was before.
Box. Oh. Why is everyone on a fucking Vespa?
Literally the first person we've seen on a fucking Vespa.
Top of the Duomo, like we talked about.
So it was part of the plan for him to be on top of the Duomo? He's like, hey man, just go up on top of the giant building and wait for my signal. And if that was the plan, why do they need to have this interchange about where he is? And how the f did he get over there? The movie just glossed over how he got down from that giant building. Yep, the good guys definitely just murdered a bunch of people there. Poop comedy. You had to know the movie was going there at some point. Why is he holding the eyeball by the end? That's where the most movement would be. I mean, it's gross wherever you hold it. Just hold the fucking eyeball. And who the f is this guy? Why does the movie wait so long to introduce this asshole? He definitely says motherfucker right there, but I guess Ryan Reynolds has already met his quota for this movie.
Hey, remember the Uffizi? Fuck no. Yeah, the museum next to where we got those mochachinos. I remember the mochachinos. I'm saying no.
Ryan Reynolds is a fucking national treasure. I gotta give points off for this because no one told him he couldn't win an Oscar for this farce of a movie.
Mind if I turn on some music?
Someone puts on a song that you wouldn't think they'd listen to for non-stop hilarious fun, even though it's not funny, and I want to punch Dave Franco in the face cliche. We're in Italy, so I guess it's time we see all the Italian monuments. And they're not getting away with this either. This is a terrorist incident now. Can someone please explain to me what their plan was here? It's like, quick, drive down the stairs and take off your seatbelt while you're at it. These guys are the stormtroopers of driving. They didn't even try to fucking turn. They just drove right off the fucking cliff. Why are these assholes just hanging out here? How do they know they were gonna be here? It's like, hey, they just scooped out the eye of our lawyer. Go wait in a parking garage in case they drive by in 20 minutes. The movie just glosses over how they got him off that forklift and onto this boat. And I guess they had time to get pizza. Hey, throw him in the back and call Domino's. I'm hungry. Yes, I know we're in Italy. True Italian pizza. I'm craving Domino's, goddammit. Point of this scene is what? To show that he's good at sniping? Because we definitely get to see that later in the movie. More fireworks.
Dear Mr. and Mrs., you may not know me.
This is the funniest part in the movie right here. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Why does he take the time to write out their last name? Or is he just writing this letter and sending it out to everyone? But what if he's writing it to someone that just has a mom? Quit being lazy, movie. I mean, 7. Most flawed door design ever. Why do they replace a driver with a fucking sniper?
Somebody would have let you pull the trigger.
Oh, I see one went to the Lex Luthor and Batman v Superman school of knowing things there's no possible way he could have known. Tough one to get in, that school.
Hey, what's that guy doing? Don't do it!
Is he jumping off the back of the boat or the front of the boat? Then why does it look like he jumped off the side? Does it qualify as a suicide attempt if he jumped in the water? Don't do it. Don't do what? Go for a swim? This fucking title card right here. The present? They could have thrown that in there at any time and it would have been just as meaningless as it is right here. And was one showing up at Blaine's ridiculous door not the present? Because I think it was. Do they think that nobody can see them? Wait, does the movie think that nobody can see them?
I'm like a mother duck. You get in the way of my ducklings?
Man, just sit down.
First off, this isn't funny. Maybe if they got Lil Rel Howery or someone that could pull this off, it would be. Secondly, why is this dude trying to be funny at a funeral? Let's remember everyone here actually thinks Blaine is really dead. 6 seconds of skateboarding that has nothing to do with anything. Also, there's 4 cuts.
There's this trick that we all do to get through our day.
A poorly edited kickflip?
We take a box, and into that box, we place all the horrors of the world. And then we close the box and pretend it doesn't exist. Only some of us spend too much time inside the box.
If we put all the bad things in a box, only then to spend too much time in said box, why did we create the box in the first place? Wouldn't it have been better just to leave all the bad things out of the box with all the good things so there was never a box? Plus 10 for all the recycled shots. If there was a list of Michael Bay-isms, recycling shots would be right there next to firework explosions and objectifying women.
You're gonna be restricted to cities that you've never visited before, people that you've never met.
Sounds suspiciously like the opposite of freedom.
Right. A little demonstration.
Maybe there was a better place we can go over all this. Like, I don't know, the place we just were might have been better than doing it here in this diner where people can hear us and using fucking cups. I swear, this movie flashes back one more time, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. Why do this? Why not just make this the first scene of the movie? Why make us wait 40 minutes to figure out the main character's motivations? Yes, the little girl in the midst of the destruction combined with emotional music means that you'll feel some kind of emotion here. But remember, these people were a bunch of cups less than a minute ago. Why do evil dictators have to appreciate art? And why is it always a Middle Eastern country? It's just so fucking lazy to do it this way. Evil guy, lots of money, Abu Dhabi, Islamic women covered up. At least they made up the country itself, but I don't think the audience of this movie will necessarily know that Turkestan isn't a real place. I bet they now think Abu Dhabi is in Turkestan. I'd like to see a movie where the evil dictator is British or American or something other than a Middle Eastern country. But you know, keep shoving that stereotype down our throats and reinforce the division between the East and West and make the world a better place that way. That's definitely the best way to do it.
In the first act, his cruelty goes completely unpunished.
Just because you make parallels in a movie between it and a Shakespeare play does not mean you are deep or intelligent or interesting. It just means you're lazy because you're really just using Shakespeare to make it seem like your movie is better than it is. Especially for this kind of movie. The movie expects us to believe that he's in love with Ariana, I guess, but she's never mentioned or seen again, and they spent one night together before he fakes his death in a plane crash. So why is this scene other than we get to see her in a thong? Oh.
And now, you're all caught up. Whoops. You weren't meant to see that. There, all caught up.
Are we though? This is the plane scene of his fake death. That's not the present, so I guess we're not all caught up. Who the fuck knows, man? This movie is actively melting my brain. When is present? Is everything present? Are there parallels between space and time? Am I in a black hole? What is life? Ah!
You said Americans caught him a few years back.
Americans.
I don't know.
If 2 was the one who caught Homeboy's brother, how does 4 not know what happened? Surely they went over all this at some point. Was he not paying attention? I bet he wasn't paying attention. F***ing 4. In case you confused it with 47. I guess we're not all caught up. Random flashback in the middle of a conversation is random and flashback. This f***ing scene, man. I just don't even know what to make of it. What the f*** is going on? What are they shooting at? Why is she standing there in the middle of the road? Why are those cars driving in a straight line? Are they saying this is the CIA kidnapping someone? Let's shoot a ton of bullets at these cars and, you know, hope the guy we're kidnapping makes it out alive. There's that same shot again, just randomly sprinkled throughout the movie. This movie needs to do some research research on what it means to be inconspicuous. Why'd we spend so much time on the 4 generals if we were going to kill them off in a matter of seconds? Hey, we just murdered some guys, so let's fuck.
Where are you running to?
I don't know, probably a flashback? You know, briefly introducing your characters at the beginning of the movie was an option.
I can't sleep.
That's because it's like fucking noon. Bad guy kills random henchmen for little to no reason at all. Never seen that in a movie before. In case you confused it with Infinity, which coincidentally is the number of flashbacks in this movie. Okay, that shot was cool as fuck. Do more of this, movie. Surviving falls like this is just not possible. I don't care how many stupid awning things are there to break your fall. Also, how lucky is he that, like, not one of them was made out of metal?
You're making me more popular than yourself.
The only way you'll ever leave this place is if the kick here throws you through that window.
That's about as confusing as a response to that statement as it gets. Almost like it's from a completely different conversation. Also, I'd like to point out there's no way they'd be having this conversation in English.
The kick? Seriously? Did you buy that shirt by yourself?
The world was wrapped in red tape, and I couldn't cut through it even with $1 billion sword. So we left behind everything to become no one.
So they're lonely, red tape cutting box escapists who are dead, but not really dead because they're ghosts. Kinda. Sweet.
Who's this honey badger?
I'm Raymond.
Hi, Raymond.
It's Brittany, bitch.
This could have been funny had it been given some time, but I think the writers abandoned the joke as they had nothing outside of random guy in Britney Spears shirt.
You don't talk to me like this. Smash you like a bitch.
Why do you keep doing this, movie? You're plenty funny organically. Stop with the forced attempts at humor. +10 so I don't have to keep pointing this out. Also, this overdub is just bad.
Smash you like a bitch.
What, am I funny to you? Huh? I'm funny? How am I funny to you?
I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
60 seconds.
One, he's gonna drown.
Maybe he goes up for air and takes his chances with the guards, but I don't think drowning is really an option here. It's not like he's stuck under the water.
Oh, check this out.
I went to the dentist.
Where does he get this sticker?
How you doing over there?
Not only that, but how did he get over there? Character unknowingly does some kind of drug, then hallucinates in a Michael Bay movie cliche. Seriously, he does this all the time. Also, laughing gas doesn't last this long.
You shot me.
You're an idiot. You don't look through a bullet hole.
Blaine would be good at Why It Sucks videos.
Y'all might want to grab a hold of some shit.
Somehow that worked. Whatever. But how many people die from having a random object fall on them?
I can't get across. We cut the zip line.
Fucking when? Wow. The odds of that happening are like 0. The police have a ghost right where they want him, but then they pull off for no reason at all. Better not show that accurate as fuck throw because it was probably some bullshit anyway. Also, a good thing those assholes threw those grenades up there because there's absolutely no chance the ghosts outrun the cops otherwise. Not only do they survive this fall, but neither has a scratch on them and they're not both paralyzed.
He's in the net up there.
Wow, the chances of the ghost seeing them up there are like 0. Discount Brendan Gleeson.
Is that your wife?
Is my daughter.
Nope.
Free yourself.
Rise up. Set us free.
And I ask you to stand beside me 1 year from tonight, outside the gates of Parliament.
It's time for a revolution.
Open the bridge. Hold away.
3 asks his imaginary friend to open the bridge, and then he does.
I want to move right now.
He's German. He's very precise.
Wow, that's racist. 1 fumbles around the cell phone here so we could have some good old-fashioned dramatic tension. Let's wait till they have us dead to rights so we could use our superior ninja skills to escape. Norvac, or whatever the f his name is, picks up this gun and never uses it. Homeboy pulls the pin on this grenade and it takes 30 seconds to go off. All these assholes are made from the same stuff as Wolverine. This whole fight scene has way too many cuts to have any idea what's going on. Donkey punch!
He's gonna kill me.
Maybe he would have if he wasn't one of the only guys to have to resort to hand-to-hand combat.
You're all in.
This helicopter picks up all the ghosts from a sinking yacht, but the movie doesn't show it. This movie thinks it's Die Hard. Movie expects us to remember who in the f this is. Littering.